indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So I did roll call out of order. Public comment, 3 minutes. Yes.
Ted Thornton, I
Hey,
would
Ted.
like to personally thank you, Mike, Rob, and the board, and the other people there, for hopefully getting Nunda Township back to where it should be. We've gone through too many years of now transparency, a lot of things going on that shouldn't have. So, thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
Thank you, it's good to see you. Anyone else? Nope, okay. Going on to item number 5, Karen asked about the minutes for the special meeting. I noted after I posted the agenda that we didn't have those yet. So I'll get with Kyle and make sure we approve it at the next regular meeting.
Okay.
So I need a motion to approve the minutes from the Township Board regular meeting September 11th, 2025.
I'll make that motion. It's just you and I.
I'll second.
Okay. We've got a motion, a second. Any discussion changes? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Okay, number 6A, we're starting new business for approval. 6A is, need a motion to approve resolution number 2025-10-09-03, authorizing a line item transfer of road district budget and appropriations.
I'll make that motion.
And I'll second.
Got a motion, a second. Mr. Parrish.
That $65,000 is for road striping. We used our MFT money and went through the county's competitive bidding cycle, and we got it done for $48,000. So that $48,000 came out of MFT. So we want to move that $65,000 that was held for striping into the general. Which fund did we put in? One of the big maintenance funds, just to put more in the coffers. So it was $65,000 we need, so we took it out of where we didn't use it.
Any other questions, comments, concerns?
No, the striping is looking great.
Okay. I'll do a roll call. Sheila Hallis,
Yes.
Karen Tynes.
Yes.
Mike Shorten, yes. Motion, or the resolution passes. 6B, I need a motion to approve resolution number 2025-10-9-01, authorizing payment of certain bills prior to examination and audit by the Township Board.
I'll motion to accept.
I'll second.
Just a quick explanation. This is well, I'll call it procedural. So the process that has been used in the past, particularly when it comes to payment of reoccurring bills, health insurance premiums, and that sort of thing, at least my understanding was those a lot of times were prepaid. Now, when I came in office, I decided to stop doing that. The intent was to try and get everything before the board before we paid it. But we've run into a couple situations, both on the township side and the road district side, where we just have bills that pass each other. You end up getting a bill that shows a late payment, so I was spending a lot of time trying to figure out what we actually paid. So this just formalizes what was being done before. Again, these are reoccurring expenses, and I can go through the wording on it, but so general assistance, obviously, if we have an assistance case that we need to help with them, we'll do that. Any social security taxes, wage, contributions to IMRF, utility, and those I'll do judiciously. I think NICOR, we have a 60-day pay term, so it can wait. Again, insurance, and then if we do encounter any issues with payment that we need to make to avoid fees, and at the end of the day, everything that's prepaid will be provided to you to review anyway, both in the packet and on the list. And I'll present it the way that I presented it this month, where you have the list of all the bills that haven't been paid yet, and then you'll have a separate list of all the bills that have been prepaid, and the actual physical copies. So that's the intent there.
Thank you.
Any questions? Okay. Karen Tynes.
Yes.
Sheila
Yes.
Hallis. Mike Shorten, yes. Motion passes. Thank you. All right. 6C, I need a motion to approve resolution number 2025-10-902 in support of the Illinois America 250 commemoration.
I make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. So quick explanation, this is stating our support of celebrating the America's 250 celebration, which effectively is July 4th of next year. We're gonna have a little bit of discussion later on about some additional activities that that we're going to pursue in order to participate in that celebration. So unless there's any questions? Nope, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Okay, next we have the road district warrants for approval for payment for September 11th, no, that's the wrong date. This is gonna be for October 9th. And we do have that correct on the warrant. In the amount of $835,536.44. Need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Okay. Any questions, comments? Rob, anything else you wanna extrapolate?
It was a big month, and the reason it was so big is because we finished all those asphalt projects up, which I wanted to quickly explain it to you guys so you understand that we're not completely on the hook for all that. It went through the homeowners association, actually got extras, so if anybody wants to follow along with us. You may say, you know what, I don't want to hear, Rob. The first project we did was Walkup Woods. The engineer's estimate, which would be in your left-hand corner, was $469,315. Our base bid came in far less at $448, and we ended up with a final pay estimate of $418. So we saved almost $70,000 underneath the $60,000 underneath the engineer's estimate. So that project came in very well, very good for the tax dollar. Country Woods, same thing. Engineer's estimate was $386. The base bid came in over $42,000 less. The final pay estimate was a little bit higher. We had some patching to do in there and some other incidentals that had to be covered. The funding for that, which you see is in the blue, the HOA gave us $200,000 of their own money. McDOT used the rest of their NSR, which is their non-dedicated road fund, which was left over from the $2.2 million that was allocated to the road district through Mr. Lesbrand's. That was what's left was 96,107. That's all I can match is the 96,107. So we ended up with a net 392,214 in total funding for that job. There was additional associated costs, which you see in the green, which the biggest one was we owed McDOT 5% for running the project. HR Green Engineering, we owed them for putting the letting out and doing the bid packets. Midland Standard did cores for us. And then Nunda Township worked for the homeowner association. We did some widening at the bus stops so that the kids in the buses all fit and the cars could still get past them. We did a bunch of tree work in there because everything was so overgrown for the last 15 years that nobody's touched it. So now it's clean for the garbage trucks and the paving trucks and everybody get through there. We ended up sweeping 5 times in there because the acorns were so bad. And every morning after they primed, the acorns would be stuck to everywhere. So rather than pave over them, I sent our sweeper truck through to suck them all up. We did aggregate shoulders throughout the whole subdivision. The only thing that we didn't charge them for is I had 8 days of construction supervision in there, which saved them probably $8,000. They still want us to put some signs up, which you see down in the black. So if you look at the right side there, the funding, less builder's cost and the associated cost, they're $82.71 behind. But if you look at the next green number, the 24,000, they had an HOA contingency of 24,000 they were holding, so they're still net $7,168 ahead by the time the whole project's over with, and they can use that for their snow plowing coming up in the next year. So you see the final number at the bottom is 765, 772, and 9 cents. That's what we owed builders for the two projects. So it came out very well. Like I said, it's not all our money. I think it was a very successful project. So that was the biggest one on your bill there for 832, 155.62 for the vouchers this month. So.
Any other questions? Okay, roll call. Sheila Hallis,
Yes.
Karen Tinus.
Yes.
And Mike Shorten is yes. Motion passes. Thank you very much. We're down to 6E, which is township warrants for approval for payment for October 9th, 2025, in the amount of $16,177.47. You need a motion and a second.
I'll make the motion.
And I'll second.
Okay. Questions, concerns? Okay. Roll call. Karen Tinus.
Yes.
Sheila Hallis.
Yes.
Mike Shorten's a yes. The motion passes. Thank you. Okay. New business for discussion. Do not have any. Old business for approval. Do not have any. Old business for discussion, so I'm gonna run through these very quick. Phone system and internet service upgrades. We thought we had a good solution with Comcast. We sent that back to give it one more swing because we wanted to get it into the road district rather than over here because he's got power backup and needs access to the internet when there's a situation that there's going to be a power backup. So they came back with a quote. They had quoted originally $11,000 to come in here, but then came back with a quote to go into the road district at $24,000. Now,
Which is closer to the road.
Yeah.
yeah. So I ended up going back to the guy.
Well, maybe they realized yours was a little low.
Well, I went back to the guy and I'm like, listen, either somebody screwed up somewhere,
Yeah.
one of the two. And I don't want it to be, just gonna put it in here for $11,000 and then you come back, and we weren't paying $11,000 up front, it was factored into the cost of service over 5 years. But I don't want you coming back and, and
Yeah.
so he brought it back to the engineers and sure enough, it was an So I got on with them last week and they asked me, what they could do to get the business, and I said, fire your engineer to pay for the cost of the screw up. They came back with a revised proposal, which I don't know if you've even looked at. It's what they quoted originally plus, I think it's $9,000 either upfront or spread over the 5 years. So we'll talk about it. We're not holding back on the phones anymore. And I frankly told Comcast that part of the reason we haven't done the phones is because I was trying to do everything all at once. And so we're gonna have the phones, I think they're on order already with Clarity. They'll come in, they're in the process of getting numbers ported over, or we'll get them ported over. And so we can have them installed at the road district up there and then behind me. So we'll get that done. If we can't get Comcast back down to where we wanted them for fiber, fiber is a preferable delivery method. Verizon does have high-speed internet access that rivals the speeds. I'm a little bit concerned about it because it's over the air rather than through fiber optic cables. So what we may do, it's a lot less expensive than Comcast. So what I think ultimately I'm going to do, we'll get the phones in, and then I'm going to do a year contract with Verizon for their internet service over the 5G lines. It'll be a grand total cost experiment of $500, and I'll know right away whether it works or not. So if it doesn't work, I can just send it back. If that works, then we can take a look at working over here for a speedier connection and get rid of AT&T, because frankly, they've been jacking everyone around. So that's phone and service. If you haven't stopped by the Sherwood Park since we had the walkthrough. Rob sent his guys in, would you give him like 3 days to knock everything down?
Yeah, 3 days with the brush mowers.
Yeah, so,
Luckily, it hadn't rained in months, so it was dry now.
yeah, so everything east of the Squaw Creek has been mowed down. So if you wanna get a better look what it looks like without
Yeah.
overgrowth. I sent an email and I had a couple conversation with Scott Kirkendall at the county. He's kind of the water specialist, cause I think the biggest challenge of dealing with that park or coming forward with a vision of it is the water issues. So, I think as Butch told me last month he was coming in and I was running out to my car was, the drainage systems normally are replaced on sod farms every,
It's been a long time since they've done any work, but we used to routinely do it every 3 to 5 years.
yeah, and it hasn't been touched probably in 20.
Yeah.
So, that would need to be resolved. One thing that Scott recommended, which I'll take a look at and then possibly do in the spring, is a controlled burn, to fully get rid of all the invasives. And then as we move forward, again, I wanna be deliberate about this, I don't wanna spend a bunch of money, but without having a solid shared vision on it.
Yeah.
Cause right now it's a field that neighbors mow, and you know, it might not ever be more than that, it just depends on what direction we wanna take it, so. That's where
You
that,
have one of the best burning,
what's that?
you have one of the best burners sitting right over in the back row, like
Oh, yeah?
burning prairies. Don't you? Weren't you good at that one time? Burning prairies. Oh,
And he comes with his own fire truck.
not anymore.
Yeah.
We'll find someone to burn it, I'm sure there's people out there. Steve, you got a lot of free time, right?
Oh, but there are people that certainly can assist,
Yep.
and they're interested.
Yep.
And Scott certainly talked about the water issues
Mhm.
in the county,
Mm-hmm,
and certainly interested
Yep.
in retaining water rather
Yeah,
than
yeah.
just
Yeah, there's-
draining it off.
Yeah, it's very dry right now, so. That's the park. Next item, C, office consolidation. I've had back and forth with this, and, the challenge that we're having right now is, the assessor's having a hard time seeing a vision where, the supervisor's office could exist upstairs. I have a different opinion about it. And we initially had discussed, hiring someone to do like space planning and draw out what it would look like so that he'd have a better vision of it. Unless there's objection from the board, I still would like to do that. Because I think the space up there is more than enough to satisfy the needs of his office. He has concerns about potential staff growth, but the way it's been set up, at least in recent history, is Mark's office is back here in the corner. This area is pretty much wide open at this point with a conference table, and then the other half is where all the staff resides. He's had 2 people that have retired in the past 2 months, and he's moving forward the plan to spread them out. But
What's he use the conference table for?
I believe staff meetings and,
He could throw them down here.
right. So there's, like I said, as with the park, and I've said with the office thing all along, there's a lot of different paths we can go. We have some flexibility.
What's a study like that cost?
Oh, the lady that I talked to initially, she said it could be anything from a hand drawing to, maybe a couple $100. I don't have an official quote from her yet.
Yeah.
I just got the plans scanned in, and over to her like a week ago. So, I gotta follow up with her and move it forward. So,
Okay.
again, I wanna be very deliberate about it. I wanna do, whatever path we go on or end up on, I wanna make make sure that we're setting things in motion from a long-term perspective.
Right, that it lasts.
Yeah, so, so that's what's going on there. Sheila, I'm gonna turn it over to you for America 250 and Nunda activities.
Well, I'll see how it goes. Now, we got that magazine from the trustees, and it's suggested that each township in Illinois do something for the 250 America. And then there was a person that's a trustee and you could contact, and I contacted them, and I was talking with them, and I thought, well, if they're asking us to do it, I felt like it's an important thing, and what could Nunda do with our township, and in talking with some people, one of the ideas, and I did talk to this Crystal Lake city manager, I talked to the Palmer House, which is our, what do they call that, the McHenry County Historical Society, which is in Nunda.
Right.
'Cause my thought is, I don't wanna replicate, or re-replicate anything that other people are doing, and we're only this little bitty township here, and I
Right.
don't think we need to be doing anything that's gonna cost money and things, but something that I had thought was doing still something, and on your sign there, Rob, when it says here to serve, and my thought was 250 acts of service for the 250 years that everybody in Nunda Township could come together throughout, from January through July or whenever it ends, and do something good for somebody else. And we keep track of these and put them in a time capsule, which was also one of the ideas in there, and have a time capsule that either could be here at Nunda, or possibly, I have talked to that Historical Society at Palmer House, would they be interested in keeping it there? And it's something that's opened up at the year 300, when none of us will be here.
Right.
Never
But-
say never.
Well,
Yeah,
you're younger than I am.
Yeah. I won't be here.
Yeah, you and I, we're not planning on being here. But something that every family could do that is a positive thing, and we have 5 schools within.
Right, I was gonna say
Nunda.
the schools would probably be really interested in this.
Yes, which I think I don't remember a time when just Nunda has done something, where like a school, there's 2 schools in District 47, they usually do things in District 47, but they are still in Nunda Township, and I
Right.
think that is important.
Yeah.
So schools, and the Palmer House is doing a timeline display that will be there, and I thought, well, something like the timeline display could be in that time capsule too, so there could be some things about Nunda in there, but maybe there could be something where people can also sign their name from Nunda, and that goes in there, and none of that costs anything. I did talk to, we have a Nunda resident that he is the marketing company that's doing the sale for 250, which is done through the Trump administration right now. And he said he would like to be on a group, and he is a marketing genius that just thinks of things the more you talk. And he said, oh, something like this, he said, that could go viral. He said, it could be like the Ice Bucket Challenge, where other townships, other places in America want to do this acts of service. And it's something that is non-Republican, non-Democratic, not
Right.
any color. It's something that is more of a unifying thing. So that was just one idea that I had, but I think we need to decide, are we even wanting to do something as a Nunda Township? But
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. We're in October, so we got a little bit of time to cement things. Now, from a board perspective, I don't know that we need, unless we're gonna spend money on it, I don't know that we need to have direct involvement, so it might be something that, I know you had sat down with Bob
Bob
about
and I did
this,
meet.
and is he aligned with what
Mhm.
you're talking about?
Yes, he was very
Okay,
interested in wanting to be on a committee.
yeah, so I will, I mean, we can just make it an ad hoc committee,
Right,
and I
yeah.
don't think we need to make it anything more official, or when you make it official, you make it cumbersome. I mean, obviously, if there's expenses that are gonna be associated with it, we can either find, and we have community relations in the budget, so we could use that if we need be. And then with the new budget year starting in April next year, we could also allocate if we needed to. So, I think it's a good idea, I like the idea. So, I mean, unofficial, official blessing, and, as far as a committee, I think if you and Bob are on it, we have to be careful if we have any more board members on it, cause then it becomes a Open Meetings Act potential violation.
Well, is it if it's a committee?
I'll ask the lawyer.
Okay, yeah, I know, I wasn't sure though,
I
yeah,
mean,
I mean, but we could do the same
Cause
thing
I
that
would
we
hate
could.
to just exclude.
No, but I was like, you could send an email to all of us, and as long as we don't reply all,
Right.
we're not violating anything. So, I mean, we could kind of go around it and do it that way, if it ends up being that it's a violation of
And
open
obviously,
meetings.
Yeah, I'm
because
just
more
saying-
people have
Right,
good ideas.
right,
Just-
yeah.
Yeah, I'll double check as long as we're careful about when that committee is getting together, that it's specifically focused on that and not talking business. It's just a perception issue on a broader scale.
Yeah, or ask too, like if we decide where all the trustees get together, like if someone is actually taking minutes and we report back, like
Right.
in new business every month,
Yeah,
maybe that gets around it too.
yeah, so, I mean, yeah.
Okay,
I think we're okay,
okay.
unless Butch is gonna come after us.
No, Butch is gonna be on the committee.
Butch is Thank you, Butch, for
He's
signing
still
up.
reeling from the decennial.
I
I have no
appreciate it.
idea.
Anything else on that at this point?
I don't think so.
No, I think it sounds interesting though, yeah.
Yeah, so,
I mean,
as far
Girl
as the,
Scouts, Boy Scouts and, yeah.
as far as the supervisor's report, I don't have anything, written this month. We've had a couple of scout troops use the field over the past 4 weeks, and then we also had a leaders conference, where they were there for 2 days doing training and whatnot. There's gonna be another adult training day where they're gonna be, training the leaders on archery, BB guns, and other things. There's another troop, I think on the 18th, I'll cement the date and send it out, or put it up on the Facebook page, but there's gonna be a scout troop doing a haunted hayride, I guess is what they run through.
Okay.
So that's coming up as well. Tax levy is gonna be coming up November, December, but Rob's office manager Casey pointed out that there is only 28 days between the scheduled November meeting and the scheduled December meeting. So,
Kudos to Casey.
He's so smart.
Yeah.
so smart. So we'll need to either, I mean, there's a couple different paths we can go. We can either move the November meeting up a week, or move the December meeting another week forward. Or we have a special meeting in between, but I think if we can just move the regular meeting date, that would be my preference. In terms of what we're looking at, I'll send out a separate survey, cause I'm thinking that my personal preference would be to move the December meeting to the 18th, but I wanna make sure that that's not gonna interfere with Christmas holiday travel plans, because if we move it back a week to the 6th, then we potentially run into an issue with bills, because
Right.
we get a lot of bills up until this past Tuesday I have, so. I'll do a roundabout and communicate out as to what direction we're gonna go on it. But just something to keep in mind. And I will also send out copies of last year's levy and the current budgets. So Karen's familiar with this, but townships budget and levy process is a little bit disjointed. You set the levy in December, and then the budget really don't set until March, February, March, April timeframe. So you do it in 2 phases. So but the first step will be to post a levy, so Rob will bring forward a levy, I'll bring forward a levy. We can certainly have a discussion before we post it, and then we have to post it for 30 days, and then once it's posted for 30 days, we can vote on the levy. And it has to be done, I think, before the last week in December or something like that, so.
And do you do a Santa thing this year?
Hadn't thought about Santa. If you,
I'm just wondering,
Do you
if
have
that's something you
Santa?
always do, or
Butch?
it's only sometimes, or,
We,
and when the month that is?
It's always been in December. We've done it probably the past 4 years, I think, 3 or 4. I don't actually remember the dates. Each year it's gotten a little bigger, but it's not huge. So I guess we could talk about that for sure. It's usually on a Saturday or Sunday, and then we have to find Santa. and then, and it's usually just kind of snacks and some crafts and coloring. It's
So
pretty
it's done
simple.
in this room?
In this room, it's pretty simple. So it's not super crazy, but yeah, we can talk about it if we wanna do it again.
Yeah.
But it would, for me, it would depend on when we do it.
And how is it publicized?
Usually, more like, it was more like word of mouth. I mean, I think they would post it, but yeah. The hard thing though is too, it's, once it was totally derailed by weather, we didn't have an alternate date. And then you start, because there's only so many weekends in December before Christmas, you start competing, you know? Like Prairie Grove does a big pancake breakfast, and the fire department is there, and Santa's there for that too, and I think Oakwood Hills does one, so it kinda, I mean, there's plenty of them to go around, it's just if we wanna decide if we wanna do it.
So, I'm open to it. You-
I can do something, but I
Okay.
just didn't know how that's decided, or, and
You-
knowing what else is going on, like you said, you don't wanna compete.
Yeah, it's hard, yeah, and,
I mean, once you get into December, you're gonna be competing with something, I would expect, so it's just a matter of picking a date and doing it.
yeah, I mean, yeah.
And then,
It's-
as far as communication, we do have an email list of about 900 residents that have signed up over the years. And then we have the Facebook page. We can certainly do a press release to the Northwest Herald, to their readership base.
And how many people usually have come?
I didn't go to the one last year, and that was the biggest turnout they had, so I can go back and ask, like, how many, cause I think I was actually out of town. So it must have been that weekend right before Christmas, cause that's when I was gone. I can go back and ask how many came, and then I know one year we were derailed by weather, another year was a pretty good turnout, but it's nowhere near like touch a truck, like it's not close to that.
And it's run by the supervisor?
No, it was
The-
more
the-
just like, we all just
the-
pitched in and, yeah,
Just
just.
the board of trustees it's done by? or-
I, like Lita, the old supervisor, was doing it, I came, then people like donated stuff, and it's not super expensive.
Yeah, yeah.
And someone had a
Gotta get-
Santa suit, and someone, yeah, so it was like, we didn't purchase really very much at all.
Right, you gotta get on Santa's calendar,
Yeah.
first off. There's a box of decorations in the closet there, or a backdrop. And I would imagine you give the kids candy canes, Santa would give the kids candy canes?
Yeah, and then I think they might have had a movie playing, like Elf or something, kind of,
Okay.
yeah, I don't know.
Okay. So, call me next week and we'll pick a date and go from there. Okay?
Right?
Yeah, and then if you decide on a date, let me know, and then
Yep.
I can start.
Decide if you wanna be in town or not.
Well, it just depends, I never know, like, is the family coming in, or do we have to go there? And then, but I think at my house, we might have an elf costume too,
Okay.
yeah.
All right, town clerk's not here, highway commissioner, report.
Yes, I'll be quick. We already talked about the two HMA projects, those are both done, they were unit cost jobs. We reconciled every day on quantities, so there was, we were all in agreement when the estimated pay items came out. They finished all their punch list items promptly, mailboxes and other things that they broke. So I chose no retainage, so we'll pay them in full tomorrow, which would make them happy
Yeah.
contractors, and they bid competitively then for you every year when you pay them right away.
Yes, they
So,
do.
they did a very nice job. Everyone warned me about them, but I was on them every day, and they understood what my expectations were, and I think they did a great job. I think the residents in Walkup Woods are very happy, and I think the families that own Country Woods are very happy with the product that came out of it. We'll be finishing Holiday Hills tomorrow, which is a $35,000 IGA we do every year for road maintenance in there. We have one cul-de-sac to finish up and a little bit of striping to do, and then we're done with them. And then we start their $45,000 snow removal contract December 1st, in which they pay us a lump sum to do their snow removal. The last couple of years, it's worked out well for Nunda, and that there wasn't that much to do in there. It actually works out for us because it completes a whole route. Guys that are working over on Louis Lake Road, they come through and they pick up Holiday Hills and Villa Lapel on their way back, so it gives them an 8-hour day. We were in Villa Lapel last week. We finished leveler around all the manholes. Remember we talked about we put binder through the whole subdivision with hopes of surfacing it next year. They came back and rose all the structures up to test them all, and they all were too high. And we fought with the contractor, we fought with North Moraine Water Reclamation District about the elevations, and fought with Geske about it, and finally I said, screw it, the township will go in, put it the way we want it, and we'll figure it out later. So they did get back to me and said that they would cover some of our costs. But we're ready to go for winter in there, or we're ready for paving again in the spring. We continue to sell off pieces. Right now, I think we're a little over $200,000 of surplus equipment that were sold that were unused by the township or becoming obsolete. I have 5 big pieces yet on consignment at some of the bigger construction sales companies in the area, which should bring in well over another couple $100,000. The solution room is gone, where we were making brine that hadn't been used in the last 3 years. I sold it off to one individual who came in and took everything out of there, and what he did with it is what he did with it. I didn't care. We washed the walls, and now both loaders fit in there perfectly. So I actually got an addition onto my building without having going out for referendum. So it works out well. They both got remotes on them, and they can come in and out of that one bay all by themselves. It's heated all by itself, so it won't be a big loss of heat for the whole building when they open a door to get a loader out. Now the loaders come out of their own bay, so that's gonna work out well. I sold the nuclear density gauge, which we had concerns with, that I was still carrying all the liabilities for that. I didn't get anything close to what he paid for it, but it's gonna be gone, and we can sign off on our radioactive permits that we have to keep up on. If you notice when you leave here, when it used to sit in that green Connex box over there, just today they finished paving all that. We made a bunk for the street sweeper to back into, and we can clean them all out, and all the debris stays against the concrete bunk wall, which allows them to pick it up with a skid steer weekly, rather than they were cleaning out in front of all doors, and then it would dry, and then they would drive it into the building, or they would drive the mud into the building. It was a pain. So that was all redesigned back there. That seems to work out very well right now. The Connex box that was there, I'm just letting the board know that I'm going to lend that to Pete and brain fade. Sheila's church. They're gonna use it for a construction demo trailer, just for a year, and then they're gonna bring it back again. So we have no use for it, and I figured there'd be no reason they couldn't borrow it. So it's going out to the church on Bull Valley Road and Walkup to be used for their construction trailer for their new addition. We're still having issues with Steuben Woods. We're back to court again on the 29th. They want the parking lot gone. They want it restored back to turf. They want me to pay for the vacation of the properties to them, and they want me to pay all their legal fees, which I'm not willing to do all that. I'm willing to do some of it, but not all of it. But until the judge tells me, I don't know if we'll find settlement. We're headed into Covered Bridge on Tuesday after Columbus Day to start thinning out the trees in there and cut the curb lines back. If you've been through there, it's way overgrown. They have problems with the drains getting clogged by all the leaves. There's no place to push the snow because the vegetation is tight to the backside of the curb. So all the homeowners in there were notified by Facebook and by email that we're coming in and have an understanding that we can do anything we want within the first 20 feet because that is the right of way. Not that we're going into a clear cut, but we're gonna take the advantage that we have for our property to promote safety and sight lines and clean up the intersections and then thin out the canopy so that the snow will melt off in the winter. Leaf pickup is posted on our website and Mike's website. We're trying to devise a plan B. If you remember last year, it ran long, and then when the garbage provider is done, he's done, and if the leaves are still out there, somebody has to get them. Last year, Mr. Lesbrance went and got them with the township guys and then charged the township through the supervisor's office for the labor. I'm looking for Plan B to find a vac to lease for that month of December as needed, but that's a project still getting worked on. Tomorrow we finally start putting Rusty back together, which some of you that came over, you saw who Rusty was. It's a truck that Mr. Lesbrance bought, and we had about $60,000 into it, and it still didn't have a box on it or a snowplow, so I bought used parts out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, some stainless steel stuff, so that's getting picked up tomorrow. Coming back, we'll put that truck together. That truck will now become truck number 16 of we need for the 14 snowplow routes we have, so we'll have 2 spare trucks all winter. We're still battling with 2004 on average snowplow trucks. We need to get closer to 2026. I found a couple that are in the like 2019s and 2020s with super low miles that I'm trying to pick up cheap, and then we'll end up selling more trucks off. Right now, the backlog to buy a brand new truck is 18 months to 24 months, and they're about $100,000 over what the current market is. So I can buy a truck new from a manufacturer cheaper than I can have one built, but because it doesn't go through Sourcewell, I can't do that. It's not, I can't go through competitive bid for a truck that's already built sitting on a lot somewhere. So we're trying to overcome that. The new skid steer just came. The loader just came back from Ultra Strobe. They actually put green strobes on it, which is the new thing, and you can see them like you can't believe, because you're used to orange, and now when you see fluorescent green shining or flashing, it's outstanding. Mr. Chardon ran through some numbers for me today. Salaries are down 14% year to date. We're hoping by the end of the year we'll be 20% lower than last year, and then carry it on to next year. Recycling's going very well. The EPA was here yesterday, walked through the recycling and looked at the rest of the grounds, looked at our outflow maps and our permits and analysis that we've been doing throughout the year. She liked everything we're doing. She applauded our recycling center. New phones are coming. Hopefully Shorty get that taken care of so that I actually have a phone in my office that you can call and talk to Rob. It still says if you want to talk to Mike, push 4 or whatever. We have new cameras coming. We're going with new digital ones using all the same old systems, but at least now we can take each camera and blow it up and look at the video from the night before. If you notice, we closed the brush drop-off by the recycling bin. They can only come when we're here or on the weekends when we're here and the gate's open. Unfortunately, somebody fly dumped there on Sunday and left 2 loads in the middle of the parking lot. So once the new camera's in, we can figure out who that is and have the sheriff give them a call. We can either bring the brush back to their house and drop it off, or they can pay the $500 fine. So that's where we're at. Everything's going well over there. Still have residents bringing us cupcakes and donuts and cookies.
You ever actually just let me know.
Yeah.
I'm up there starving.
I know you. And your park's mowed,
Yes,
so
thank you.
it's been a fun month.
Anything else?
I don't have anything.
No? Okay, with that, just need a motion to adjourn.
I will make that motion.
I'll second.
All those in favor say aye. Any opposed can stay here as long as you want.
Yes, sir. Yes. Yes. I don't know what's going on over there, I just stayed out of it. I said, you don't have a stormwater.
You like from like Oriental training, like, you know, like candy canes that are kind of like, not felt, they're, I can't think of the word. Yeah, like foam, and yeah, like, and they're stickers, so they can just kind of decorate stuff like that. Comic books and crayons. Oriental training does that too, where you can make ornaments, and we just kind of set it up. It's not huge. I mean, I would say we might get 30 kids, you know, but, you know, there's
your own facility, but.
There's a
if it's
lot,
cheaper, you can get
cause
away
it's
with it.
smaller, there's a lot of people who have like sensory, kids who have sensory problems, and this is a smaller thing for them, and it usually works out better than trying to go like to Prairie Dog School, cause that's just jam-packed, huge, loud, yeah. But I will try and find out how many people we have this year.
So I know that when Underwood, she did the reading, the wedding, she brought the she said she
No,
was
okay.
for Christmas here.
Oh, cool.
Save
Yeah, good. Thank you, though.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, and then if we need kids, depending on the weekend, and like when it is, like my granddaughter's a senior, but that's also finals, so I gotta, I'm sorry, Mike. But yeah, they usually, she and her friends don't mind coming and dressing up, you know, and they could do a story time too, you know.
You know where you're supposed to take it, so yeah, but you do it
Yeah,
with less trucks.
let me
than
know,
yours,
but I will find out